Muted. Unmuted.
Can you help me with a go-to-meeting thing here? I've got it on my screen, but I'm not able to hear it. I dialed it, but that wasn't working, so I went to their audio.
Dial-in phone numbers. What's wrong with their phone number when you dial in?
Go- No audio here.
too much and move within a process that allows the board to get set, and then establishing the advisory committee and how that's going to look, what that's going to look like, and then there we go. Ultimately, trying to get to the point where the Watermaster Board can get its third order of business together, and that would be selecting the Watermaster Board engineer. That requires the judgment indicated, requires input from the advisory committee. So the Watermaster engineer can't be appointed to the advisory committee, has an opportunity to be established and to give input. In addition to that, it requires a unanimous vote of all the Watermaster board members. So this is a consensus type of process that will go through. The actual procurement of which firm might be representing them is yet to be determined, and it's going to be important component, probably the most important component of what the Watermaster board will do, because that will set the tone for the Watermaster operation moving forward. Just some suggested plans for how to move forward. There will be a lot of discussion in the next few, as you can hear from the representatives, there will be a lot of discussion in the next few weeks. We do have this group here scheduled for the February 17th to follow up on a second meeting to see where we are with regards to the status on things and keep this process moving forward. We can talk a little bit about advisory committees at that point and these concepts. And then our hope is in March, and if not March, maybe April, or when the Watermaster Board gets seated. At that point, the Watermaster Board will be conducting all of these meetings, and they'll be under that authority. All the meetings will be, as I indicated, under the Watermaster Board direction, and they'll provide direction to their administrators and consultants and various other people that they hire to assist them. These meetings will all be subject to the Brown Act. The advisory committee meetings will all be subject to the Brown Act. So those will be moving forward under that umbrella once the Watermaster Board is established. So that is. I believe that concludes our presentation on where we are today, kind of what we anticipate over the next several months to get this group of producers and get us moving forward with the establishment of the Watermaster Board to allow us to move forward. We do have a court requested date of April 1st, 2017 to have our first annual report complete, so this needs to be a process that continues on month in and month out, trying to keep ourselves on task moving forward. So with that, I think we'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody might have. The intent of this meeting was to get everybody together, understand some of the basic things that we as a group need to do together to move this whole concept forward, and so that's where we're at. With that, any questions?
When I want, I got to push this thing. Yeah, a lot of experience up here. You said that AVEC is the director of the Watermaster Board. Could you explain what?
Well, if I said that, I misspoke.
Okay, maybe I wrote it down.
Okay. The Watermaster Board has selected our Director Paris to be our representative on the Watermaster Board.
All right, but you made.
I think I can answer that,
yeah.
John. So the judgment says that AVEC may be the administrator for the board. Since the Watermaster Board has not been formed yet, we've taken it as a responsibility to administer the process until the Watermaster Board is formed. At that point, the Watermaster Board will make a decision how the Watermaster will be administered. So we have not volunteer for that going forward, we may, but at this point, we've just taken the responsibility because we were named the judge.
And that duty ends upon the election of the water board?
Well, since May, so that seems to say that the Watermaster Board will have discretion.
And I need some clarification, maybe other people do too. The advisory committee, is the advisory committee to the water board as a whole, or does the advisory, or does each board member have an advisory committee?
The way I understand the judgment, and anyone can correct me if I'm misinterpreting this, it is a advisory committee made up of the producers to advise the Watermaster Board, so it's as a whole, just one group.
So there's going to be one advisory group for the whole valley?
Right. And then the judgment does have what they call subcommittees. So there's 5 subcommittees for the various management regions within the adjudication, and they provide merely an advisory role to the water master. So we have subcommittees for each of the regions that make recommendations to the water master engineer, and they meet on a I believe it's a quarterly basis or a biannual basis, and talk there. But the discretionary acts of the Water Master Board are vetted through the advisory committee before they come to the Water Master Board for final determination. That's the way I understand it.
Other questions?
What are the requirements to be on the advisory committee?
That's
Wayne, if you could repeat the question and the answer, since we don't have speakers out.
Sure. Well, what is the requirement to be on the Water Advisory Committee? And that there are no set requirements as of yet. That is to be determined by the producers as they come through. I think the intent was to provide a voice for everyone that wanted to be part of the advisory committee to have their ability to be able to go and be part of that process. Obviously, there's a certain amount of structure that will be necessary with that moving forward, but it's, in essence, that's my understanding of what they were trying to accomplish. So, for example, any producer that produces water can be part of that committee and have a say-so and a voice, because these are all public, transparent meetings, so everybody will have their ability to have a say-so. And how the voting and the recommendations get adopted, that's yet to be determined. Once the producers get together, they'll figure out how to make all that work. Yes?
Just real quick, as for clarification, the public agency seat will have an advisory or steering committee, maybe would be a better word, from the public agency group to help that group have a solid representation on the board.
Okay. That's fine. Yes?
Do you have any idea how many will be on the advisory committee?
The question is how many will be on the advisory committee? I don't. It's interesting when you read the judgment, there's the subcommittee portion. It's fairly well defined of how they get selected and what their duties are. And the Water Master Board is fairly well designed how they get selected, what their group is. And then the advisory committee is kind of left pretty open, because it basically said that the producers have the right and ability to establish, what their roles and things are that they need to do. So, it's open in that aspect.
For the benefit of different agencies in this room, Mr. Wagner mentioned 23 years ago they formed the Watermaster Board in Poverty Basin. How long can we expect for the Watermaster once it's formed to be over this basin?
It'll be over this basin until the court indicates that it's not necessary anymore. Because remember, the Watermaster Board is an arm of the court to fully implement the judgment. The intent is to be in perpetuity to maintain the groundwater basin levels and the health of the groundwater basin pursuant to the judgment and fiscal solution that's contained within that judgment. So it's going to be here a long time. Okay. Well, thank you all very much for coming. Yes.
I say, you state again, when is the first official meeting of the water board?
Please say the question and then the answer so people on the GoToMeeting hear.
Sure. The question is, when is the official first meeting of the Watermaster Board? That won't occur until such time as every one of the Watermaster Board members are selected or elected. And once those all come together, as soon as they come together, the very next meeting will become an official Watermaster Board meeting.
I appreciate you saying.
We're hoping for March, likely April, and we'll see what happens for that moving forward. But as soon as the Watermaster Board as soon as the Watermaster Board is selected, they'll take on their responsibilities as soon as possible moving forward.
And it's our intent to continue to have monthly meetings to push the process forward until the Watermaster Board is completely selected, and then it's going to be up to the Watermaster Board from there on. So you will be notified of every month of a meeting. We will meet again like this, go over what's going on, where the process is, who's been selected, who needs to select their member.
Once again, this is we're trying to be as transparent and as open as possible so everybody has the latest and greatest information. Believe you had a question?
Yes. Do you expect that future meetings will be available by conference call and also by GoToMeeting for planning purposes?
That is our intent. The question is will future meetings be available by conference call and GoToMeeting? Certainly, all of the preparatory meetings that we have before the Watermaster Board is seated will be that way. And the Watermaster Board will then give us direction as to what their desires would be moving forward. But I would anticipate that they will continue in that path.
Hopefully by next meeting we have it worked out so you don't keep hearing the sound every time someone comes on.
You have a meeting date and time for this one?
We do. 2 o'clock. February 17th is the next scheduled meeting here at this chambers. We may move it to a different location for March. We haven't got that far yet to doing the room availability and just moving it around a little bit. So we'll see. Yes, sir.
Hi. I'm Tom Bunn. I'm the attorney for Columbia Water District. I understand that other people have expressed concerns about the process, so I won't repeat those. But I did want to express the hope that the future meetings starting next month could be done with more of an equal participation by various parties.
So noted.
Tom, can you explain to us exactly what you would like?
Yeah, I think I think that everybody ought to have a hand in, if they wish, in setting the agenda and in participating in the meeting. Perhaps more of a kind of a round table format. I realize the room's not really set up that way. But rather than having a presenter and an audience.
Yeah, this was the first meeting just to get us started, and we want to, again, keep it as transparent and open as possible, and whatever recommendations we have to make it better, we will try to follow. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, one of the first things, reading the requirements of the water board is the final majority or unanimous vote. I see that as a roadblock. If we don't consider in our individual group providing for an alternate to that board, is there any provisions for that?
those types of provisions will be outlined in the Watermaster rules and regulations for how they will operate their agency or their group, and that's yet to be determined. Those usually will come once the Watermaster engineer is selected. The first order of business is to figure out how the group is going to operate a whole series of things with regards to alternates and others. I think the intent is that there is some very specific matters that the judgment anticipated that they would need to have a unanimous vote, and there need to be consensus on. Watermaster engineer is one of them, and there may be others. Depending on what the Watermaster board selects, it should be unanimous votes. They have that opportunity to do those things and create those. Yes.
Yes. My name is Sheldon Blum. I'm also a landowner. I'd like to know whether the planning department would become in conflict with the water master based on the decision-making process. In connection with usage of the land or water usage. Would there be a conflict? And so who has the seniority or priority?
Okay.
We can't hear the question.
Sure. And the question is in the future, will the planning department be in conflict with the Watermaster board and its operation? Who takes precedent over that? Once again, the Watermaster board is to implement the judgment. That's their purpose. The planning departments and planning organizations, I think, will now have a more defined understanding because of the judgment and the physical solution of the water resources that are available in each particular planning jurisdiction. And so in actuality, I think it'll become, there'll be a lot more certainty as to what water resources are available and what they aren't. And it'll actually make it easier, and the planning groups will actually be relying on the judgment to indicate how much water is available.
Well, would the water master be housed in the city council building, or would they be housed elsewhere?
They could be in any facility that the Watermaster board feels is appropriate, given the budget that the Watermaster board would have based on the assessments. But once again, that's something that has to be determined in the future as to whether it meets what they'll need to do. So there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I know that's why we start meeting and talking and trying to work through all these things. In any event, thank you very much for attending, and we'll make sure that everybody that was here that was on the list get a notification of all things that move forward. Thanks again.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.